Good deal. Hey, welcome this morning to our class of 24 senior parent meeting. I just want to be the first to congratulate you as moms and dads for getting to this point. It's a big day. It's a big time whenever you get a last semester senior. You are truly in the stretch. We have conducted this meeting for 2 years. This is the second year that we've actually had this parent meeting, and we got a lot of good reviews last year. Parents who said that they knew about what was going to happen through the last semester of the senior year before it was actually happening. And that's our goal this morning, is just to give you a lot of information. And actually, it's just going to be a flood of information that you're going to get. Don't feel like that you have to take notes to know everything. This presentation will be shared. It'll be housed on Lake Hamilton Live, so you can go back and look at the live stream. It'll be there. Also, Brian in a minute will show you a way that you can access it, a hard copy or slides or whatever. So the information is going to be available to you. We wanted you to get it firsthand and have an opportunity to ask questions, and we're also going to ask you to volunteer for some things. So again, welcome. I was thinking this morning, if you're from my generation, there's a guy that I love to listen to, Bob Seger. Some of you probably, I'm sure, have heard some Bob Seger, but there's a line from a song that I think just perfectly illustrates where we are right now. It says deadlines and commitments, what to leave in and what to leave out. And in the final semester of the senior year, it's a whole lot about deadlines, about commitments, about figuring out what to leave in and what to leave out. We've got an all-star panel lined up to be able to visit with you this morning. I want to be very cognizant of your time. I don't want to take a whole lot of your time this morning, but I do want to spend enough time here that we get everything covered very well. My name is Donald Westerman. I'm the principal here at Lake Hamilton High School, and we have going to visit with you this morning with Brian Bridges, is our school district communications person. Melissa Peters is with our PTO. She's the one that's going to ask for some volunteer stuff. Ms. Crawford is senior counselor. Callie Townsend is our career coach and a English teacher here at Lake Hamilton. We've also got Jill Hurd, who is our Alpha PAC advisor. Alpha PAC is kind of like our student organization that takes care of all big activities, big student-wide activities, things like homecoming and senior play day, and that's what Ms. Hurd's going to visit with you about. Also have the editor of our yearbook, Ms. Caitlin Guthrie, and Caitlin's going to talk with you about senior ads and also about purchasing a yearbook, because I know everybody wants a yearbook to remember this year. Also down here, and he's not on the program, but Rick Lancaster with Herff Jones, who will visit with you. He's got a booth or a table set up top to look at graduation supplies. Also notice that he has provided a door prize this morning. So we'll get to that in just a minute. This presentation, let me make sure my clicker's working here. Nope. There we go. All right, we built this presentation off of the questions that you submitted and also some questions that were submitted last year. And the information, again, is going to be about the final semester of your student's high school experience. If you do have a question during the presentation, or if you want to volunteer to help with one of the PTO activities or with the with Senior Play Day, there's a spot on that green sheet where you can check that off. There will be a basket that about halfway through the presentation that we'll pass. Either that or we'll just have you pass it to the end of the row. I don't think we'll go offering plate today. I think we'll just pass things to the end of the row. And that's where we'll draw for our door prizes, which look like some pretty good stuff. Those green sheets, again, will be used for door prizes. And also, there's a place on the back that if you have questions, if there's anything that we are not covering that you would like to have covered, if you'll write those questions on the back, we will try to get to those even this morning, or if we're not able to do that, we'll get information back out to you to answer your questions. Some of the questions that were submitted to us: how do you know for sure if your student's ordered a cap and gown? Is this something we have to buy? That question is going to be answered this morning. We will know for sure if your kid's ordered a cap and gown. When is the graduation commencement ceremony? Our counselor is actively assisting my child. Key dates. It's a lot of what we're doing this morning is key dates. How is concurrent credit reflected on the high school transcript? That's a good question. List of ways to help my kids with scholarships. And is there one place where we'll be able to find all the information on senior things? I can answer that. Absolutely, there is. And that's what Brian Bridges, who is up next, is going to start with. So, Brian, come on up and talk.
Good morning, everyone. So we'll go ahead and get started. I'm Brian Bridges. I'm the Director of Communications here. This is my 10th year in this role. This is year 15 in education for me, and Lake Hamilton is home. And I hope that it's been a great home for you and for your students over the past 12 to 13 or however long that your students been with us. Want to go over a few pieces of information. A lot of this, like he said, you could get this slideshow and just peruse it and read it without our presenting it. But I do feel like it's nice to hear things on the front end and hear from the people and have an opportunity to answer questions. So thank you for taking the time to come today. And those that are watching on live stream, thank you for joining us. So a few things. We'll start with Senior Central. Senior Central is a web page that we built about 3 or 4 years ago. I started doing this during 2020, and then we've continued it throughout. We just released Senior Central yesterday. I published it yesterday. So it is live and living, and this is your one-stop shop as a senior parent and as a senior parent supporter, grandparents, family, friends, anyone that needs information or wants to know what's going on. This is like, I've already got it loaded with almost everything that we have so far. So Senior Central is going to be your one-stop shop. It's going to be where I am uploading information and updating information from now leading up to graduation. So the information on there today, there's some things that say this will be updated later this spring, and it will be. As we get closer to different things, we keep updating this one page. So if you bookmark stuff on your phone or you save, like if you're like me and your phone has like 50 different screens open on when you go to your Internet Explorer, keep this screen open and hit the refresh button every now and then and check it, and then you'll know what's going on. So Senior Central, this is your one-stop shop for all things seniors. It's also going to be housing this presentation, and the presentation is actually already on Senior Central at the very bottom as well. So keep Senior Central, and this is just for you guys and your information. Senior Social Media Spotlight. After spring break, we start spotlighting our seniors on social media. This has been very popular. It's always fun to see your senior and their picture just being showcased as being one of our members of our graduating class. So we are already accepting those senior spotlights. It's super easy. Your senior will actually be the one to go in and do it. The reason we do that is because, as you know, they are very particular about the pictures that are used of themselves. And if mom and dad submit a picture, it may not be their favorite picture that they want out there. And then I get an email from your senior that asks why I put that picture online. So the seniors have to fill this out from their LH Wolves email address, and they even sign for it. We actually record the IP address because you wouldn't believe sometimes they try to submit a funny picture of one of their friends and we like to verify that as well. So anyways, we'll start doing this after spring break, so make sure you encourage your student to do this. And I always get messages from parents that say, my student hasn't been featured, and I just write them back, your student hasn't submitted a photo. So have them submit photos, and then we start scheduling them out like 4 to 8 a day. So it's a good way to showcase your seniors. Again, this is on Senior Central as well, okay? Dates, let's talk about them, all right? Here's some dates that you can start putting on your calendar. Athletic Signing Day, we've got one coming up on February 7th. And I just sent the registration for that to all of our high school head coaches yesterday. It was actually last night. I was working about 10:30 last night. So I sent that out. So make sure if you have someone in athletics, they register for that. Draft Day. This is a huge hiring event that's held here at Wolf Arena. It's not only for our school, it's for all the Garland County schools around. Amanda Porter does a phenomenal job with that. We have anywhere from 60 to 100 businesses and industries here that are hiring on the spot, internships, summer jobs, even career choices. We've had students that have decided they're going straight to the career field, straight to the workforce. So that's taking place the 17th and the 18th. Your seniors will want to be there for that. And I believe it's a requirement in order to participate in some of the senior activities. So your seniors need to be participating in that. We have a career signing day. What is a career signing day? This is for those that for enrollment, you're going to college, going to a trade school. It's for employment, maybe you're going straight to the workforce, and it's for enlistment. So any of those things we're going to be celebrating, and that is on May 3rd. So that's used to be called Academic Signing Day, right? It's now all the E's, enrollment, enlistment, employment. We're celebrating all of our seniors that have a plan for when they leave here, because that's our goal. We want them to leave here having a plan of what they're going to be doing once they leave Lake Hamilton High School. So that day is going to be celebrating all of those students that have a plan, regardless of what that plan is. Deadline to submit letters of gratitude, so our senior breakfast and senior walk. You'll just need to make sure your kids submit their letters by May 3rd. Information on that's already on Senior Central. I'll meet with them after spring break and go over all the information there. But again, I like you guys to have dates. I know your seniors come home and they tell you everything that you need to know. Says no senior parent ever. So now you have those dates to kind of help them. Prom is the 4th. Project Prom is also the 4th. Ms. Peters is going to visit with you about that. Our 4-year athletic letter ceremony is the 7th in Wolf Arena. What is that? That is if your student has completed 4 years in one of our athletic programs. Why did we start doing that? Because we want to reward those kids who finish strong. We have so many that don't necessarily finish and commit all the way through. And so this is a ceremony that we help honor and celebrate those kids that stuck with participation all 4 years. We bring our middle school students over as well, and we challenge our middle school students to stick with participation, because one thing we've seen is participating in something at school translates to doing better at school. Top 25, so if you have a top 25 academic student, that's also the 7th. May 7th is a big day, all right? And we've got our career and technical education completer ceremony on May 7th. So lots of ceremonies on May 7th for you. Senior Survivor Play Day, Ms. Hurd will be talking with you about that. That's the 10th. And the 10th is your last day of school for seniors. The seniors love when we have snow days, especially this year because we have to make them up. Because guess what? Seniors don't have to make them up. They're loving every minute of it. So the last day for seniors is May 10th. Senior breakfast, senior walk, and their letters, that is the 16th. Parents, I get asked a lot about that. Senior walk, that's not necessarily, I don't consider that a parent event. I consider that a senior event and a staff and student event. The reason that was designed is because we are wanting our kindergarten, our first grade, all the way up. We want them to see what a senior looks like. Some of them have not seen someone wear a cap and gown. They don't know what it means to graduate. It fosters those conversations with our younger students. It also allows our teachers just a day of reflection as the seniors are walking through the hall and seeing their former teachers and getting hugs and high fives from their administrators. It's a special day for them. However, we invite the parents to come that want to come, and they can line our class of 2020 drive. So parents, you're not allowed in the buildings as they're doing senior walk because we do consider that a student and a staff activity. But if you want to be a part and catch a glimpse of your student, we actually parade them from the junior high to the high school down class of 2020 drive that day. And so more information will be shared with you on that, and that would be your opportunity to stand out there and get a picture and cheer for them, okay? Commencement practice is the 17th at 10 a.m. They've got to practice in order to participate. Commencement is the 17th as well, and it's at 7:24 because they're the class of 24, all right? And then our final athletic signing day is Wednesday, May 22nd. We always get questions on why is it after commencement? And the reason is because we do it after the last Arkansas State Championships take place. And so soccer, baseball, and softball are the weekend prior. And so we want to make sure that even though we've already gone through commencement, we may have a kid that's still being recruited up until that last state championship weekend. So we want to make sure all students have that final opportunity to get recruited and sign before we do our final signing day for athletics. All right.
Thank you so much, Brian. Y'all, that Senior Central piece, it's probably an award-winning piece. I don't know anyone else that's doing what Brian's doing with that particular piece of information, but I would ask you to please spend some time perusing around Information Central, or excuse me, Senior Central. I would also just add that one of the way that you can help us best is for you to really become even more of a nag than you are right now. Your kids are not, they don't seem to be progressing toward wanting to take as much responsibility as they need to be taking. That's not unusual. That's not just your students. We've experienced that with seniors forever. So it's just important that you have this information and that you're able to just continue to stay right there on top of them for deadlines and commitments. So you've got the information now, and you can do that. I want to talk today about some very specific expectations and obligations for a very important event, and that's our commencement activity. Brian told you it's going to be on May 17th at 7:24. And to start that conversation, we'd just really like to have you think about two definitions. And we sometimes interchange these definitions like they're the same thing, but they're not. And that's the word graduation and the word commencement. So graduation is the completion of all their academic requirements as recorded on the official transcript. That is their academic achievement, the high school diploma. That when all of that is completed, that will be considered a graduation. Okay? Commencement is a ceremony that celebrates graduation. So when we all get together down at Bank OZK Arena on the 17th of May at 7:24, we will be at a commencement ceremony where we will be celebrating that academic work, the fact that they have graduated from high school. We, again, have a commencement ceremony, not a graduation ceremony. And the important piece of this to understand is that commencement is a privilege. Seniors must meet obligations in order to participate in the commencement ceremony. Now, they have to meet obligations to graduate, but those obligations are, for the most part, academic. If they achieve 22 credits at a satisfactory level of performance, then they will graduate with a high school diploma. Those commencement ceremony obligations, again, academic. In order to be able to participate in the commencement ceremony, they have to meet all of their academic obligations. Behavior. Students who may be well to graduate, but let's say that they're in school suspension or out of school suspension or even expelled at the time of the commencement ceremony, were not eligible to participate in the commencement ceremony. Still going to be eligible to graduate, still get the diploma, still get a transcript, not the ceremony. Does that make sense? Okay. I hope none of you have to worry about that piece. Financial. Not going to spend much time with that, but I'll just say that we do send fines via email to students each week, and that word really shouldn't be fines there. It should be debts. So if a student in the 10th grade lost a Chromebook or destroyed a Chromebook or for some reason didn't turn a Chromebook in, we have a record of that. And they are reminded of that frequently. The day of reckoning is commencement day. We need library books, all manner of things that stuff that public property that is that's not returned is subject to fines or to people owing money for. So there you go. All manner of things. Your student will know this. They're going to know well ahead. Ms. Hurd, they're probably knowing today, weekly. Be the nag. Maybe whenever you get home today, say, hey, do you owe any fines? And if so, let's figure out a way for you to pay those fines off. This probably should go without saying, but I'm going to put it up here, and I put it up here every year for students. They have to be present for practice. We will graduate about 230, I think, in this class. That's a lot of bodies that have to be in a specific place doing exactly the right thing. And it's if 4 or 5 people are missing whenever we have practice, we're not able to practice perfect. And it throws the whole ceremony into a mess. So that's really, really important that students are at practice. Again, it will be at 10 o'clock. It's traditionally always been at 10 o'clock on the morning of graduation at Bank OZK Arena. Again, that's a student activity. That's not a parent activity. You can stay at work that day, or if you're going to have a party after the graduation, you can stay home and plan for that. Just send your kids up there to graduation practice. We're usually finished by noon, and they have all afternoon to get ready for the ceremony that evening. So this is super important, and you're going to see this today. You're going to see it on Senior Central. You're probably going to see it on emails home from me. And your kids are going to know this. But please pay attention, because this is these are important dates with important things that have to be taken care of. In order for May 10 to be their last day, they must have all assignments turned in by 3 p.m. on that day. If they don't, they will be allowed to be at school on the 13th and the 14th. I believe that's a Monday and a Tuesday. Actually, they will be required, especially if they are working on anything that's on Edgenuity or any kind of credit recovery. We absolutely require them to be at school on the 13th and 14th in order to turn in their assignments. And the deadline, the absolute deadline for students participating in the commencement ceremony is to have all assignments turned in by the 14th of May at 3 o'clock. Your students are going to hear this. You're going to hear it again. Our teachers know this. This is one of those. This is one of those big boy deadlines. One that that matters. So if your student is going to participate in commencement ceremonies on Friday, May 17th, one of the obligations that must be met is that all assignments have to be turned in by 3 o'clock on Tuesday, May 14th. The asterisk there says that seniors who do not have a passing grade in all courses by 3 p.m. on May 14 will not be allowed to participate in senior walk and commencement ceremony. These are hard deadlines. They're not negotiable. Please assist your student in being proactive and informed of deadlines as they finish their senior semester. Deadlines and commitments. So students who do not meet the May 14, 2024 deadline will still have time to submit required coursework for graduation, for a diploma. Those assignments must be in by the 21st of June. We have to close the fiscal year out by the 30th of June. So in order for your student to graduate, in order to have a diploma, transcripted credits for the 2024 school year, everything must be turned in by the 21st of June. We have traditionally opened summer school for seniors who have not completed all requirements in order for them to get in those last few weeks to come in and complete their assignments. It is not our desire that any student not graduate. We truly want every kid to get a diploma. And we're going to make every effort we can to make that happen. But it is going to be required that students make some effort as well. All right, let's talk for just a minute about the ceremony. It will be May 17th, 2024. We'll start at 7:24. That's just a kind of a shout out, an honor to the class of 24. Tell you another little tradition that's really cool. We have a class of 2020 drive out here. You all have seen that. It's the one that I've got yellow tape over the gate where you can't drive through it right now. But when our board dedicated that drive to the class of 2020, one of the considerations is that every year at commencement, we would recognize and remember those students who were in the class of 2020 who did not get to have a traditional, real graduation ceremony, that forever we would recognize them in some way or the other at this time of the year. So on our senior walk, as students move from the junior high to the senior high, they will walk down the class of 2020 drive and into the high school. And that's a tradition here now, about a 3-year-old tradition. So that's a good place for you to stand if you want to come and watch the senior walk that day. Graduates have to be inside the arena no later than 6:45. Doors will open at 6:15 for the family, or for anyone, audience and family. If you If you want to come in a little bit early, that's when I think Brian will probably build a slideshow out of those senior spotlights. So that's another reason for you to make sure that your students get those in. All right, arena guidelines. I'm not going to read all these to you. I'm just going to tell you that these are not our guidelines. These are Banco ZK guidelines. If you've got people coming from out of town who are not familiar with the rules at Banco ZK, it would be really nice if you would help make them familiar with that, because it's for somebody to have to walk from one of those back parking lots, or excuse me, from the entrance to the back parking lot to put their purse up is not a fun thing. I do want you to understand those, again, are not our requirements. That is Banco ZK, and part of the agreement when we say that we're going to use their facilities, they tell us how we're going to behave inside those facilities. So you'll get this list later. Make sure that we adhere to it. What to wear. That's why Mr. Lancaster's here today. We have a unique gown. No one else in the world, no other graduating class anywhere has this particular gown. It was designed back in I guess 2019 was probably the first class that wore this cap and gown. The package that the cap and gown comes with is the gown that you see, that cap, and then a tassel that's a 2024 tassel. So it is a little bit unique. You can purchase this from Herff Jones, and that just access that website, that link. If you're only going to purchase that package, the one with the cap and the gown and the tassel, you got to scroll through several pages to get to this package. But I think Rick, is it 50? How much? Gotcha. $59.40, right? $60 for the package. That's the one that you're looking for. We did take measurements on all of our students on the first day of school, so we had the right measurements. That's why it's important to kind of work with Rick before you do the order, is to make sure that you don't order something that's too big or too small. What do kids wear at graduation? What do graduates wear? They wear cords and stoles and medallions that were presented by Lake Hamilton School District. We're a little bit sticky about that, sticklers for that. Super important that the awards and medallions that they wear are presented by Lake Hamilton School District. We have made some exception to that. We've had students that had some extraordinary award that might have been presented by an outside organization. What I would say is, if you've got a student who may have received an honor or award that they want to wear with their commencement regalia, then ask them to see me. It's really hadn't been a lot that I haven't approved, but I do want to, I want to have final say on what they're wearing on their cap and gown. This is an incredible ceremony. What we do with commencement is really one of the most beautiful little ceremonies that you'll ever be a part of. And one of the reasons is because we pay a lot of attention to detail. If you have a student who needs financial assistance with a cap or gown, if you will, just talk to your student's counselor, and that would be Ms. Crawford, or the student's advisor. And we will make a way to make sure that everyone has what they need for the commencement ceremony. Again, at the end today, if you want to visit with Mr. Lancaster, he'll be up top. He's got some graduation supplies that he can help you with, and also he can let you know if you got the right measurements for your child for their cap and gown. We do allow seniors to tastefully decorate the top of their cap. We've been doing that for, I think 2020 was the first group that we allowed to do that. And they have always been tasteful. I've never had a bad one. At least we've never had a bad one that showed up on the floor. And we reserve the right we will examine every cap. Students who decide that they're going to do something that's not appropriate will just have the opportunity to march out without a cap on their head. Wearing under the robe, again, I'm not going to read that to you guys. Moms, that's probably something that you're going to be real interested in. So go to Senior Central, and when it comes time to get your kid ready for graduation, and there's the information. The one thing I would point out there is don't make them wear new shoes or uncomfortable shoes. It's a lot of walking in a very unfamiliar place with stair climbing, and they're nervous anyway. So let them wear some comfortable shoes. They can put the cute ones on while they're standing in the receiving line. All right, Miss Hurd.
Good morning. I'm Melissa Peters, and I'm with Project Prom. Just to give you a little bit of info, Project Prom is an after prom party. It's free to juniors and seniors at Lake Hamilton. What we do is we provide free food for them, games, giveaways. Giveaways are usually for going to college, or if they're starting a new house or an apartment. So the funds that we get help provide all that. And that's where I'm asking for y'all's help. We do need sponsors, either monetary or volunteers that will help. It is 11 p.m. after prom to 3 a.m. So it does take a lot of volunteers and a lot of work. But the kids have thoroughly enjoyed it. Last year we did all kinds of giveaways, computers, refrigerators for dorm rooms, microwaves, you name it, just about everybody got something. Most of the grand prize giveaways will be for the seniors, but the juniors do get to participate in the other prizes. So if you would not mind, if you are interested in volunteering to help do this with your children, I'm sure they would love to have you there after prom. Just let us know on those green sheets, and I will also give Brian my contact information, and you guys can get in touch with me if you know a business, or if you guys personally want to do a monetary donation, or if you're willing to volunteer anyway, would be greatly appreciated. Thanks.
I'm Jill Hurd. I'm the Alpha Pax supervisor along with Amanda Porter, and we get to do all things fun. And we plan Senior Play Day on Friday, May 10th, which is also the seniors' last day. So in order for them to get to participate in Senior Play Day, all of their coursework has to be done by that Friday, or they don't get to come out and play with us. We have our theme. It's called Senior Survivor. So we model it after the reality show Survivor. The students are divided up into teams. They choose themselves, so many per team. They strategize. We have different games that we set up if we have good weather all over the football field. If not good weather, then we're in the field house and the arena. But we need parent volunteers as well to come help us run those games, because we'll have, about 150 kids in big teams running through and competing in the different activities. So if you are available on Friday, May 10th and want to come hang out and do play day with your student, we would love to have you. Like I said, we need all day volunteers that will help us man games. But if you're not available all day, we could even use you during the lunchtime, because trying to serve 150 kids lunch and get them food and popsicles and all that fun stuff requires a lot of extra hands too. So if you want to come play with us, we would love to have you do that on Friday, May 10th. Okay, all right.
So if you'll take your cards before we bring up Miss Crawford and Miss Townsend, if you will, like I said, or like they said, if you'll mark if you're available for senior play day or if you're available for after prom, the prom party, project prom, and pass those towards an aisle, then we've got some administrators that'll come pick them up. All right? All right. And Miss Crawford, Miss Townsend, let's talk scholarships and FAFSA and graduation credits.
Yes, please. We're going to start with our honors program. We've already identified about 60 who are going to either be honors, high honors, or highest honors. That status is based on two factors, GPA and AP courses. To be an honors graduate, a student would need to have 2 AP courses completed. And completion of an AP course means taking both semesters of the course, taking the AP exam for the course, and at that point they will receive weighted credit for that course, which means that an A counts 5 points instead of 4, a B would count 4 points instead of 3, and on down the lettering. So to be a high honors graduate, they would need to take 3 AP courses and have a 3.5 GPA. Our GPAs go to the 4th decimal, so they would need to have a 3.5 followed by 3 zeros. We do not round. So, so they would need to have that 3.5, the 2 AP exams completed, and then they would receive an honor stone. The high honors has a 3.75 GPA. They must complete 3 AP courses, and to be highest honors, they must complete 5 AP courses and have all A's. That means there would be not a single B on that transcript. So that seems like a daunting factor, but I actually have a senior this year who has completed or will complete in May 10 AP courses. So it is doable, but it is challenging. I can testify that it is a challenging curriculum. So diplomas, as far as diplomas, when they graduate and when they walk across the stage for commencement, they will receive a folder that their diploma goes into. And when they come off the stage, we, the counselors, will be in a position there and hand them their actual diploma so that they can put that together when they get home. As far as your seniors this year, I had the privilege to go into the English classes and do what I call a senior seminar. And during that seminar, they received a notebook, a folder, and that folder has several handouts and a little booklet called How to Pay for College. In that folder, they will the handouts included some post-secondary information, a login tracker where they can keep up with their usernames and passwords. It also had information on our counselor page, how to request a transcript, and it also has a tool that we are fortunate to have at Lake Hamilton, and it is called Tassel Time. The usernames and passwords for Tassel Time are in there. That is a program that Miss Christy Anderson finds funding for every year, and it allows students to practice with ACT exams. It has a college database, so if you click on college, you'll see a picture of the United States. If you clicked on that, you put in the state, and it will pull up every 2- and 4-year college or university in that state. So you can literally, in one setting, apply for 5 or 6 different schools without ever doing a Google search. You just click on the website. It takes you right to their college page. There'll be an Apply Now button, and they can literally apply for several at one time and then switch states and never have to get off that computer. So Tassel Time is a really valuable tool for you guys. Take a minute and look at it when you get a chance, because I think you will find that it's very, very helpful. She also, the lady who organized that, also has a list of over 6,000 individual scholarships. which would be a daunting tool. So your students were informed about how to use college search databases where they can build a profile, and that database will do the searching for them and then notify them through their email when they find a scholarship match for them. One of the last things I want to mention is that your students should not be using Lake Hamilton's email for their college searches and any applications they might fill out. So they would need their own personal email. It can be a Gmail, a Yahoo, something inexpensive. But once, at some point, their high school email will not work for them. So they need their own. So if you have any questions, please let me know. I will mention this. We have a financial aid office for Garland County, anybody who pays taxes in Garland County. It is housed at National Park. So if you have issues with your FAFSA, if you just need somebody to kind of hold your hand while you go through that process, you can make an appointment and they will literally sit down with you and go with you through that process as you fill out that information. Again, my name is Andrea Crawford. Feel free to contact me if I can help you in any way. It has been an absolute pleasure working with your kiddos. Thank you.
All right, guys, so I'm going to touch a little bit on what Ms. Crawford was also saying. My name is Callie Townsend, and I am the career coach for the school, so I work alongside the counselors in the counselor's office to assist your student with any kind of post-secondary planning, and I also teach English in the high school. And so some things that I also wanted to touch base on were some free money opportunities for your student. So the first is the counselor's webpage, located under school information on the high school webpage, has a living document that we upload scholarships with active links for your student to apply for local and state scholarships. And so it is a great tool for your student, especially for these local scholarships. I know that the Oaklawn Foundation just released their scholarship application. It is a $3,000 scholarship for only Garland County residents. And so that is a awesome scholarship for your student to apply for. Another awesome opportunity through the state of Arkansas, especially if your child is staying in state for college or trade school, would be the Academic Challenge Scholarship. So in order to qualify for the Academic Challenge, your student needs a 19 composite on the ACT, or if they do not have that, they can qualify with an equivalent score on what's called the AccuPlacer. I give the AccuPlacer here at the high school. It is also offered at National Park College, and it can be used to where a student does not have to take any type of remedial courses before Comp 1 or college algebra, so that saves you money. And it can also be used for a student to qualify for the Arkansas Challenge. And that is a huge scholarship and grant for our students. They do not have to pay them back. And it will follow them through their 4 years that they attend college. Then there is a new grant opportunity for your students that are going to a 2-year college or to a technical certificate or trade school program in Arkansas. In Arkansas, we have a lot of in-demand jobs. This includes most of our trade positions. This also includes STEM-related positions, so anything that's science, technology, engineering, and math. And so your student can apply for what is called the Arkansas Futures Grant. And this will cover tuition and fees for any qualifying 2-year program in Arkansas. And so there is a list of qualifying programs. So if your student is, for example, going to go to National Park College, please check and see if the program that they are going to be applying to qualifies for this, because then all of their tuition and fees would be paid for. I know specifically at National Park, we have a lot of students who are interested in the nursing program. The nursing program is covered under this grant. And so that, like I said, there is free money out there for your student. I try to tell my students all the time, let's try to stay away from loans. I know that sometimes you have to take out a loan, but there are so many opportunities out there for students to where they would not have to do that. And something else that I'm going to cover on, I feel like it's almost considered a dirty word, and it's the FAFSA. Many people kind of get scared when we start talking about the FAFSA because, you know, it asks a lot of personal questions. It's long, it's confusing. A lot of times you forget your passwords from previous children that have also filled it out. But they have changed the FAFSA so it can be a more streamlined, easier experience. The FAFSA is important if your student is going to receive any scholarships, any type of financial aid, they're going to take out a loan, or if they're going to work on campus. And so it's very important that your student fills out the FAFSA application. The academic challenge is one of those that requires that you have a FAFSA application on file. And so, like I said, they have changed the application for the FAFSA. So for those who have had previous students that you have filled out the FAFSA before and you remember how it took almost 2 hours to complete, it's over 100 questions, all of that has changed. And so there have been questions have been removed. I've talked to some students and it said that it's taken them less than 30 minutes to complete now. The biggest change is that anybody who is a contributor, so if you are providing any of your financial information on the FAFSA application, you must have an FSA ID. Think of an FSA ID as a FAFSA account. And so not only does your student have to have this ID, but any parent or guardian that is putting any of their information on the application, you must also have a ID as well. Another big change is that for those who are separated or have been divorced, your student must put the financial information to the parent who provided the most financial support to that student. And so that is the parent whose financial information, so your tax information, that will go on the FAFSA application. In the past, some students have been able to fill out the FAFSA application on their own and just kind of, troubleshoot as needed with their parents. Now, you need to be present to help your student with the application. That is because if you are providing your information on the application, there are going to be checkpoints that you will have to consent to filling out filling out information, providing financial information, and so it's kind of a tag team effort that there's going to be some information your student fills out, and there's going to be some information that is specific to you. And so, like Ms. Crawford said, this is something that you could go to National Park College. I'm available for assistance through appointment if your student needs help, and then if you want to come up as well and we can kind of tackle it together, or kind of plan out a day that you two are just going to sit down and y'all are going to get it completed. But I can say through students who have already filled it out, they have said that it is so much easier than it has been in the past. And so I hope that this is an easier process for y'all and that it's not as daunting of a process. Because something also for those who are going to college, every year the FAFSA application has to be completed over again. And so that's something to keep in mind if you want to receive, for example, federal Pell Grant, or you want to be able to take out loans. You need to fill it out each year so it can be sent to your college. And so always try to, schedule a day on your calendar that this is going to be FAFSA day, so that way you don't forget. And then just some information for planning for the future. I do know that there are some students who do not have plans yet, and we make it we try to help students have a plan by the time that they graduate. So that's why we have opportunities such as Coffee and Careers. We have colleges come and visit. We have events like Draft Day. but there are still some students who are maybe unsure of what they want to do next, or really don't know where to start. And so any student that is unsure of what they want to do, even if they say, I'm going to college, there has to be more than just going to college. They are going for a career. And so if your student is confused, they can always reach out to me, or they can reach out to Ms. Crawford, and we can do some aptitude tests with them, talking about their interests, and kind of help set them on the right path towards their career. Some additional information, please make sure that your student requests their final high school transcript by May 30th so it can be sent to the college or trade school of their choice. I know some students have already requested their transcript. That is just the transcript they have currently. Those transcripts will not have their final grades for the spring semester on them until they request this final transcript. So please make sure that they fill out the link that is on the counselor's webpage, so that way they can request to have those transcripts sent to whatever post-secondary institution they're going to. Also, if your student is currently enrolled in a concurrent credit class, or if they have taken a concurrent credit class, they have to separately request a transcript from that college. So we are in partnership with National Park College. They can request a transcript through National Park College and have that transcript sent to the college that they are attending. This is so the college knows that they have taken classes like Comp 1, Comp 2, college algebra, so that way they don't have to take it again whenever they go to their new institution. Also, just as a reminder, if your student has not met the placement requirements for Comp 1 or college algebra and are at risk of having to take some remedial courses, please have them reach out to me. The AccuPlacer, from a lot of students, it is less stress than the ACT. It is only 20 questions per section, and they have unlimited time to take it. And they can also separate it out, so that way they don't have to worry about trying to finish it all in one day. This applies to any kind of course placement, or applies to your Arkansas Challenge scholarship. And so if you ever have any questions, feel free to reach out to me or Ms. Crawford. And then our next speaker is Ms. Caitlin Guthrie. She is an awesome addition to the yearbook team, and she's going to talk to you a little bit about senior ads and purchasing your yearbook.
Good morning. Good morning. I'm Caitlin Guthrie, and I'm here to discuss the 2023-24 high school yearbook. Our yearbook staff has worked diligently to... Can you hear me now? Oh, okay. I'm here to discuss the 2023-24 high school yearbook. Our yearbook staff has worked diligently to create a memorable keepsake that will be enjoyed for years to come. This yearbook will include senior portraits, class pictures, clubs and organizations, and all sports teams, which will be represented equally throughout the book. For the first time, we are adding senior quotes to go along with the portraits. This is a great new addition to the yearbook. All seniors have been sent multiple emails with instructions on how to submit their quotes. Please check with your senior to make sure that they submit their quote before the deadline, January 31st. The yearbooks will be delivered before graduation. The cost of the yearbook is $60, and payment plans are available through Jostens. The book is hardcover and printed in full color. As well as yearbooks, we are offering a chance to surprise your senior with a recognition ad. You will be prompted to upload your own photos and write a personalized message. Ads were very popular last year. We sold over 40 recognition ads. A quarter page is $100, a half page is $150, and a full page is $225. They are a great way to show your love and support to your senior. The deadline for recognition ads is February 8th, and the deadline for ordering yearbooks is February 23rd. Please be sure to grab a flyer that contains all of the information that I have just went over. There is also a QR code on the flyer that can take you directly to the website. I will be available after the meeting to answer any questions that you may have. Thank you for your time.
See if it'll click one more time, Brian. Nope. Okay. We did get a few questions back on green sheets. I thought I was going to be real slick and go ahead and just add those to the slideshow, but I guess we're not on the internet over here, so we can't do that. But I'll just read them to you from the sheets. We're also going to use these sheets to draw for some great door prizes. One door prize that is not up here that Caitlin doesn't even know about, but we're going to draw for a yearbook for a parent of a senior. So my office is going to provide that as a door prize today. So some lucky person here will get a free yearbook this year. Questions, let me see if I can find my questions. There were two questions that were specific to band. I'm going to share those with Mr. Schultz, and I will ask Mr. Schultz to get back in touch with those parents who ask the band-specific questions. The other questions I think are good for the entire group. One, the seniors purchase academic earned cords, or does the school provide them? And then there was another one in here about basically, I think it was about Boys State cords. The school does purchase academic cords. If your student receives a cord or a medallion from the school to wear at commencement, we will purchase that. We will provide that. So that covers everything. If there's a Boys State, Girls State, academic, CTE completer cords, and also the stoles for your students that are honors, high honors, and highest honors. Those stoles and usually the cords are not presented until very late in the year. And the reason, the May 7 day, I think, is the day that CTE completer cords will go out. The academic stoles, usually those aren't completed and aren't presented even until the day of commencement, because we have to check every grade point average, and we don't have grades in until the 10th for most students. So also, let me see, what was the other one? Oh, when dates that cap and gowns will be in. Oh, thank you. Yeah, the date that cap and gowns will be in is April 2. All things senior that you have ordered will be in on April 2nd, and you can pick those up here. Cords.
And then who do I contact to volunteer?
Oh, who do I contact to volunteer? That was another one. If you can call, probably the easiest way to do that is just to call our high school office and let either Miss Hurley or Miss Brown, whoever answers the phone there, know that you want to volunteer for something. 501-767-9311. That number also will be on Senior Central there. Brian, we might also think about, and I'm going way off script right here, we might think about putting a FAQ page on Senior Central where parents could maybe have some communication back and that kind of information, like who do I contact? Don't you love it whenever I just sit up here and just decide we need to do something different? Yeah. Okay, hey, let's draw for some door prizes. Caitlin, would you come up and select our door prizes? So, has everybody turned in your green sheet? Yeah, that's the moment you've waited for. Here we go.
First prize is for your very own Lake Hamilton Beach towel. It's gonna be all this.
Here, here. Shane and Kimberly Abernathy. So the Abernathys win the beach towel. Highly collectible. Ed Luton. Mr. Luton, you have won the cap. Yay. It's where you put all your memorabilia from this year. Very nice. Rosetta Anderson. Miss Anderson. Oh, we got a yearbook. Sherry Johnson. That may be the most valuable thing we give away today. All right, for the yearbook. Karen and Darren Pretzel. Yay. So if you will, see Caitlin up top, and she'll get your information for that, and we'll take care of making sure that you got a yearbook. You all, thank you so much for coming. If you have questions that you haven't asked, please do look at that Senior Central page. You guys be safe. Probably the next time we see all of you will be on May 17th at Banco ZK Arena. Have a good rest of this semester.